The maid meticulously prepares a cake with a special ingredient for the sole purpose of getting revenge on her former employer. Upon seeing the maid who has come to apologize of her own accord, the female employer still maintains a haughty posture as she lets her in. Subsequently, Hilly, completely off her guard, picks up the chocolate pie and takes one bite after another, while never forgetting to humiliate the maid, Minnie. However, Minnie is secretly rejoicing in her heart.
Oh, pie's as good as always, Minnie.
I'm glad you like it.
To demonstrate her supposed magnanimity, Hilly presumptuously tells Minnie to come back to work, but Minnie has no intention whatsoever of returning to work.
What do you put in here that makes it taste so good?
That good vanilla from Mexico. And something else real special. Eat.
What'd you say?
I said eat my.
Hilly realizes something is amiss in an instant. She would never have dreamed in a million years that she had actually consumed a chocolate pie with a very special added ingredient. Yet Minnie shows no fear as she simply turns around and walks away. The resentment and humiliation that have been building up for so long are finally released at this very moment. Minnie's employer, Hilly, is the quintessential representative of middle-class housewives in the 1960s. She goes as far as marking the toilet paper every day, making it the first thing she checks when she returns home to see if Minnie has dared to use the indoor bathroom. In the eyes of women like Hilly, domestic workers are seen as carriers of filthy germs and diseases. But in reality, Minnie always brings her own toilet paper. It is never just the last straw that breaks the camel's back, but rather the accumulation of countless grievances. On this day, while it is pouring rain outside, Minnie truly can no longer hold it in. But since Hilly is still in the house and the designated bathroom for the help is far away in the corner of the yard, she is forced to take the risk of using the indoor toilet. Hilly grows suspicious and quietly follows her. Although Minnie cautiously opens the toilet lid, she is still caught red-handed by Hilly. Now that things have come to this, Minnie chooses to no longer back down.
And just what are you doing?
Get off my toilet!
Unsurprisingly, Hilly fires Minnie on the spot. To make matters worse, Hilly spreads rumors at a social gathering of wealthy ladies, claiming that Minnie was dismissed for stealing. This results in no one daring to hire her. Life at home becomes extremely tight, and she even suffers domestic violence from her husband. She is forced to have her daughter drop out of school to work as a maid to help support the family.
No sass napping. No sass napping. I mean it.
It is precisely this bone-deep humiliation and the helplessness of being pushed into a corner that makes Minnie reach her breaking point, leading her to deliver that special gift to Hilly. Yet Minnie's experience is only the tip of the iceberg, as they are maids in name, but are treated no differently than people driven at will in practice. To make a living, Minnie's good friend Aibeline has raised 17 children, one after another. While she frees the hands of these families, her own child has to be cared for by others. Aibeline's employer, Elizabeth, neglects her own daughter because of postpartum depression, choosing instead to focus on playing cards and socializing with her best friend Hilly and others. Meanwhile, Hilly is the leader of the town's socialite circle, excelling at sowing discord and bullying the weak. Her biggest obsession is that the help must not share bathrooms with their masters. For this reason, Hilly specifically drafts a home help sanitation initiative. She proclaims that the maids harbor special germs and demands that every household provide a separate bathroom for their help. Surprisingly, this preposterous proposal receives the approval of many ladies present. Consequently, Aibeline, who could originally use the guest bathroom, is forced to use the toilet outdoors in the sweltering heat. However, the appearance of a young woman brings a turning point to their lives. Skeeter comes from a wealthy family and is an aspiring writer. After graduation, she finds a job at a newspaper office. Within her upbringing, there is also a memory that is difficult to let go of. Her family once had a maid named Constantine who served them for 29 years. She accompanied Skeeter through her entire youth, taught her many life lessons, and was a very important person in Skeeter's life. Yet upon her return home, she discovers that Constantine is gone. Faced with Skeeter's questioning, her parents simply say nonchalantly that Constantine has returned to her hometown.
Did you fire her?
We were just a job to her, honey. With them, it's all about money. Now, you'll understand that once you've hired help of your own.
She raised me.
She did not.
She worked here for 29 years.
It was a colored thing, and I put it behind me.
Skeeter knows that things are certainly not that simple. It is also at this social gathering that she witnesses the predicament of the maids. A bold idea sprouts in Skeeter's heart to interview these maids, listen to their stories, and compile them into a book. Thus, Skeeter contacts the editor-in-chief, Stein, and shares her idea with her. But Stein is well aware that these maids would not dare to open their hearts to Skeeter, otherwise they might lose everything they currently have, or even face more terrible retaliation. However, Skeeter is certain that Aibileen can provide her with help. Skeeter's conviction prompts Stein to give her a chance.
Well, I guess I can read what you come up with. The book biz could use a little rattling. Thank you, Miss Stein. Hey. All I'm saying is that I'll let you know if it's even worth pursuing.
Skeeter finds Aibileen at the first opportunity, hoping to gain a deep understanding of the true stories of the maids, while solemnly promising that all narratives in the book will be replaced with pseudonyms. But Aibileen refuses directly without even thinking about it. It isn't until she hears about Minnie's ordeal that Aibileen, looking at the contact information Skeeter left behind, finally makes a choice. In this way, Skeeter comes to Aibileen's home.
I've never seen you in a uniform before. You look really nice.
Thank you.
But faced with Skeeter's questions, Aibileen is momentarily unable to answer, as all those experiences have been recorded by her in a notebook.
Alton used to always be asking me how come I was black. Just ate them all. And one time I told him this because I drank too much coffee.
Over the following days, Skeeter becomes a frequent visitor to Aibileen's house. Aibileen believes her current employer is very irresponsible, as she has never once hugged her own child and is stingy with even the most basic maternal love. What breaks Aibileen's heart even more is that one morning, when she goes to change the baby's diaper as usual, she is shocked to find the child has endured the entire night wrapped in a filthy diaper. Meanwhile, Elizabeth is now pregnant with her second child. In Aibileen's view, if a mother does not love her child, she should not bring that child into the world. She knows better than anyone that once those employers hear these words, she will have to pay the price. Yet Aibileen insists on recording this sentence. Meanwhile, Minnie's former employer soon hires a new maid, Ewell May. Since her two children have been admitted to university, but she cannot afford the tuition, she humbly begs Hilly for a salary advance, promising to work for free until the debt is paid. However, she is met only with a heartless refusal and stinging mockery.
You need to come up with this money on your own, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll thank me one day.
While cleaning the next day, Ewell May accidentally finds a lost ring. Under the heavy pressure of life, she ultimately chooses to hide the ring in exchange for her children's tuition. But she never imagines that this decision will later cost her a heavy price. However, things take a turn for the better on Minnie's side. Through a friend's introduction, she finally secures a new gig. Before stepping out, Minnie is consumed by apprehension, having already steeled herself for further humiliation. But to her surprise, she is met with entirely different treatment.
Hey! Come on!
Minnie has actually heard rumors about her new employer, Celia, before. In the words of her former employer, Hilly, Celia is an unseemly woman who specializes in stealing other people's boyfriends. Yet, when Minnie actually meets Celia, she finds that Celia is simple-minded and kind. Not long into their meeting, Celia candidly tells Minnie that she is pregnant. Celia even worries that Minnie might find the workload too heavy and refuse the job.
Let me at least get you some bus money.
Now, when you hear me say I don't want to clean this house?
Wait. So you'll do it?
Seeing that Minnie is willing to stay, Celia is as happy as a child and rushes over to give Minnie a big hug. This is the first time in Minnie's life that she truly feels the taste of being respected. Immediately after, Celia enthusiastically pulls Minnie into the house to discuss how their work will be arranged. Celia tells Minnie the truth, saying she wants to hide the fact that she hired a maid from her husband, Johnny. so she hopes Minnie will come over every day after he leaves for work. It turns out, she wants to try hard to be a good woman in her husband's eyes.
And what Mr. Johnny gonna do when he come home and find a colored woman in his house?
It's not like I'd be fibbing. I just want him to think I can do this on my own. I really need a maid.
I'll be here tomorrow morning about 9:15.
Great.
That evening, Minnie goes to find Aibileen, but upon opening the door, she sees a strange girl. Minnie's eyes are instantly filled with suspicion and hostility as she questions whether Skeeter is giving Aibileen a hard time.
No. I want to show her perspective, so people might understand what it's like from your side.
Well, it's a real 4th of July picnic. It's what we dream of doing all weekend long. Get back into their house, polish the silver. And we just love not making minimum wage or getting the Social Security. And how we love they cheering when they little. And then they turn out just like they mamas.
I know. So maybe things can change.
What law's gonna say you got to be nice to your maid?
You don't have to do this now, Minnie.
You damn right I don't. You two give me heart palpitations.
But Minnie regrets it shortly after leaving.
All right, I'm gonna do it. But I need to make sure she understands this ain't no game we playing here. Slide your chair from under that table. Face me. I need to see you square on at all times. I got to come up with your questions too?
Oh.
A moment later, the guarded Minnie lets down her defenses and opens her heart to chat with Skeeter for the entire night. Minnie and Aibileen's stories are quickly finished, and they realize more maids need to join in, but this is far more difficult than imagined. Skeeter sends Minnie and Aibileen's experiences to the editor-in-chief, Stein. Although the content is explosive, the stories of just Minnie and Aibileen are far from enough, so Stein demands that unless Skeeter finds more maids, she will not give her another chance to publish. After all, with insufficient volume, the story cannot truly resonate or achieve the effect of speaking out. Minnie suggests a way to attribute her many stories to other people, since pseudonyms will be used in the book anyway. Aibileen also thinks this plan is feasible, but Skeeter firmly refuses, believing that doing so is wrong and untruthful. But what is truth? Aibileen recounts a past she has never mentioned to anyone, about how her son was unalived for no reason.
He fell carrying 2x4s at the mill. Truck run over him, crushed his lung. That white foreman threw his body on back of a truck. Drove to the colored hospital. Dumped him there and honked the horn. There was nothing they could do, so I brought my baby home. Laid him down on that sofa right there. He died right in front of me. He's just 24 years old, Miss Skeeter, best part of a person's life. Anniversary of his death comes every year and I can't breathe. But to y'all, it's just another day of bridge. You stop this. Everything I wrote, he wrote. Everything he was gonna die with him.
Because of this, Aibileen is even more determined to gather more people. At a ladies' gathering, Skeeter specifically finds Hilly's new maid, Ewell May, hoping she can find the courage to join. However, Ewell May is well aware of the possible consequences and politely declines Skeeter's kindness. Just in the middle of their conversation, Hilly walks over. Some time ago, she handed the Home Help Sanitation Initiative to Skeeter. In Skeeter's eyes, this initiative is filled with discrimination and prejudice against maids, so she has never published it. This time, Hilly has clearly lost her patience and gives Skeeter a final ultimatum.
Put my initiative in the newsletter. Okay?
With no other choice, Skeeter prepares the draft. Her gaze inadvertently sweeps across the bookshelf, and seeing the woman in the photograph fills her with loathing. Skeeter takes the photo down and puts it in a drawer, then inserts some carefully crafted private additions into the initiative. Early the next morning, the initiative receives a strong reaction.
Skeeter! She put it in the newsletter! Oh my God! I specifically said, drop old
The front of Hilly's house is piled with all kinds of old toilets, attracting town residents to stop, watch, and snicker. This scene makes Aibileen feel the power of public opinion. That night, the bus Aibileen is riding suddenly comes to a halt. It turns out a tragic shooting has occurred ahead, and to ensure the safety of the passengers, the driver must race against time to send everyone home. Aibileen is forced off the bus, her figure appearing small and helpless in the night. She has no choice but to run all the way, because staying alive is more important than anything. At that moment, crowds of people are fleeing in panic, and in the chaos, Aibileen's foot slips, causing her to fall heavily onto the muddy ground. This kind of differential treatment is like an invisible quagmire that won't take your life instantly, but it will leave unwashable stains on you through prejudice and malice. Aibileen arrives at Minnie's house. Only by her friend's side can she feel at ease. Minnie deeply realizes that they are trapped in a living hell from which there is no escape, and their descendants are destined to struggle in the same plight. This day, Minnie keenly senses something wrong with Celia. She walks lightly to the bathroom door and asks about Celia's condition with concern, only to receive a blunt order to leave. Throughout the time they have spent together, Minnie has come to know Celia all too well, and an intense sense of unease drives her to burst through the bathroom door. There sits Celia, covered in blood and consumed by grief. Celia has suffered a miscarriage. In fact, Celia has an unfortunate physical predisposition for miscarriages, and this is already the third child she has lost. Minnie falls silent, for in the face of such pain, any words seem hollow and powerless. Celia buries the child who never reached the world by herself. Under every small tree here, a life that never had the chance to bloom lies in eternal sleep. That day, Yule May is arrested by the police as soon as she gets off the bus. She is pinned tightly against the car by the officers, and then a baton strikes her face heavily. Previously, to scrape together her children's tuition, she had no choice but to pawn the ring Hilly had misplaced. Knowing this, Hilly shows no trace of sympathy, and instead chooses to call the police without hesitation. Aibileen watches this scene with her own eyes. A rebellion belonging to the Maids is about to begin. Skeeter arrives at Aibileen's home as usual, only to be completely stunned by the sight before her. A room full of maids is ready to tell her the stories of what happened to them.
I'm gonna help with your stories.
I'm on help too. We all are.
In these heavy stories, Skeeter not only hears helplessness and heartache, but also sees the kindness and courage that never flickered out even in desperation, understanding the most moving brilliance deep within human nature. Even if pseudonyms are used to protect everyone's identity in the book, the people in town would eventually guess who they are by looking at the details. At that moment, Minnie proactively suggests writing the story of the chocolate pie into the book. Minnie knows Hilly's character too well, as she is so obsessed with her reputation and vanity that she will never admit such a thing happened, and thus will not admit these stories took place in this town. But Skeeter thinks doing so is too risky, and might bring even greater trouble to Minnie.
Y'all two brought me into this, but I'm gonna finish it. Now either put it in or pull my parts out altogether. Y'all pick.
Skeeter returns home and questions her mother, Charlotte, again, about why Constantine, who accompanied her for 29 years, left without a word. Charlotte finally reveals the truth. That year, she was successfully elected as a state councilor, and to celebrate this honor, she specially hosted a banquet at home for many prominent figures. But by then, Constantine was already elderly, her reactions had slowed, and her hearing was not what it used to be. Her performance at the banquet was concerning, even requiring Charlotte to get up and open the door herself. It turns out that Constantine's daughter Rachel has come for a visit, so she has Rachel go through the back door to wait in the kitchen. But Rachel pushed the door and entered directly.
Rachel, what are you doing?
Well, I'm just doing as I was told, Miss Charlotte. Going to the kitchen. But I'm gonna see my mama first. Hello, Mama.
Go on to the kitchen, Katie. I'll be there directly. You may put up with this kind of nonsense, but I do not.
To maintain her dignity in front of everyone, Charlotte fired Constantine on the spot with a firm attitude. Constantine stood outside the door for a long time, her eyes filled with unbelievable daze and heartbreak. She could never have imagined that the child she raised herself would abandon her so heartlessly. Later, Charlotte wanted to find Constantine and bring her back to make up for her mistake, only to learn that she had already passed away. Charlotte feels particularly guilty, as she actually loved Constantine very much in her heart, but she ultimately lacked the courage to protect a maid. Learning the truth, Skeeter is heartbroken, feeling ashamed of her mother's coldness and indifference, and aching for Constantine's tragic fate.
You broke her heart. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
She drives to Constantine's former residence. Memories from over 20 years ago flood back, and she seems to see that kind and gentle family member again. Skeeter decides to write her own story into the book as well. This is not only to commemorate Constantine, but also for all the maids who, like Constantine, gave silently but were heartlessly cast aside. Thus, these stories are published, and a book titled The Help hits the market, though the author's name is listed as anonymous. Skeeter knows the real authors of this book are not her, but those brave maids who stood up to tell their stories. Not long after, Minnie receives a letter containing some money. It turns out Skeeter divided the manuscript fees equally among everyone who told a story. Minnie runs all the way to Abilene's house, impatient to share this good news with her, as this is their glory and achievement. This book is read and discussed by more and more people, and the most talked about part is Minnie's stories. Previously, because Hilly's mother mocks Hilly for eating the chocolate pie with special ingredients, Hilly holds a grudge and cruelly sends her mother to a nursing home. Now that her mother has also seen the book, she immediately calls Hilly to talk about it with great joy, because she is finally able to vent the anger in her heart. That very night, angry roars come from Hilly's room. Employers begin to discuss, feeling as though the stories in the book all happened right around them. Hilly breaks out in cold sores, and everything goes exactly as Minnie had originally predicted.
It's not Jackson.
Hilly turns around and drives at full speed to find Skeeter to settle the score, because she knows only Skeeter could have done this. Facing Hilly's hysterical threats, Skeeter is not afraid at all, because she knows Hilly has no evidence. Hilly's scheme fails, but refusing to let it go, she turns to Skeeter's mother for help, wanting to teach Skeeter a lesson, but she never expected that she would suffer another fatal blow. Skeeter and her mother return home together. Charlotte plans to take her to buy some beautiful clothes. It turns out she received a call from the editor-in-chief last night, and learned that Skeeter received a job offer from a newspaper in a big city. But Skeeter seems to have some reservations in her heart. Charlotte cannot help but sincerely praise her daughter's actions, feeling proud of Skeeter. Minnie goes to work as usual, but this time, unlike before, Johnny's car stops behind her.
Need some help with those?
Minnie is so scared that she turns and runs, fearing Johnny might unalive her. In her panic, she picks up a wooden stick to confront him. Unexpectedly, Johnny's attitude is exceptionally calm. It turns out Celia had already told him everything, including the matter with the children, and he had already accepted it all calmly, long ago. In fact, Johnny has known about Minnie's presence since her first day on the job, because Celia cannot cook such delicious food. Johnny is an open-minded person and helps Minnie pick up her bag that fell on the ground. They walk toward the house together in such a harmonious scene. What warms Minnie's heart even more is that Celia has actually prepared a large table of food. She has been busy all night for this. All of this is both a return for Minnie's careful care and an acknowledgement of her sincere treatment.
So, I ain't losing my job.
You got a job here for the rest of your life. If you want it.
They have given Minnie unprecedented respect. And Johnny's next move is even more touching. He proactively pulls out a chair for Minnie, and Celia serves her personally. This is a milestone in human interaction, and this lavish meal, filled with kindness and recognition, also gives Minnie the courage to break free from her violent husband. The book is covered with the signatures of the maids. This is the maids' tribute and affirmation of this voice. Looking at this burning recognition, Skeeter's heart is full of concern, fearing they will be left alone and helpless after she leaves. But Abilene and Minnie see through it all.
Bad things happen, ain't nothing you can do about it. Now it's for a reason we can be proud of. I don't mean to rub salt in your wound, but you ain't got a good life here in Jackson, plus your mama's getting better.
You ain't got nothing left here but enemies in the junior league. You done burned every bridge there is. You ain't never gonna get another man in this town. Everybody know that. So don't walk your white butt to New York. Run it. Look at here, Miss Skeeter. I'm gonna take care of Abilene. And she can take care of me.
Go find your life, Miss Skeeter.
With their sincere blessings, Skeeter accepts the job invited by the editor-in-chief. But Hilly's revenge has not ended yet. She incites Elizabeth to forcibly fire Abilene. Abilene has no choice at all. She can only bid farewell to the little girl she raised.
I need you to remember everything I told you, okay?
Okay.
You remember what I told you?
You were kind. You were smart. You were important.
That's right, baby girl.
Having experienced the grievance and reluctance of being fired without cause, Aibileen also says goodbye to her career as a maid from then on, turning instead into a writer. The movie The Help is adapted from Catherine Stockett's novel of the same name. This is not just a film about a rebellion by maids, but also hides a story about the status of women and the awakening of female thought. The newspaper editor-in-chief gave support to Skeeter, who was chasing her dreams, helping her break free from traditional gender constraints. Skeeter, in turn, used that power to let the stories of the maids be seen by the world. Skeeter is an excellent representative of the younger generation of women in the early 60s, while Johnny is a model of an open-minded male of that era. Everyone struggles in the torrent of the times, yet there are still those who choose to help each other. The courage of ordinary people is far more moving than grand rebellions. The film exposes the cruelty of prejudice and highlights the power of kindness and unity. It makes us understand that no matter what predicament we are in, refusing to stay silent and supporting one another can break the darkness. Equality and respect have always been the most authentic way for people to interact.